today to talk to you all and elaborate on a very interesting topic that I've been given. And I will try to make this speech worth your time. So the topic that I've been given today states that an independent Scotland should be a member of NATO. So first of all, there are some terms that I would like to elaborate on first. The first term that I would like to elaborate on is an independent Scotland. Scotland is currently not an independent country. It is within the United Kingdom, which means it is not an independent country. However, this statement is wondering, what if Scotland becomes an independent country? Should they be a part of NATO? The second term that I would like to elaborate on is NATO. What is NATO? NATO is a group of European countries with the US, Canada, who agrees that they would help each other militarily if necessary and in times of need. So now let us go back to our topic that states an independent Scotland should be a member of NATO. I would like to express my stand that I agree and support this topic based on three big reasons. The first reason is that Scotland is currently a part of the United Kingdom, and the United Kingdom is a part of Europe. So if Scotland breaks from the United Kingdom, Scotland would still be a European country because of its geographical location. And since NATO includes a group of European countries and Scotland is a European country, this gives Scotland a reason to be a part of NATO. My second reason is that Scotland is not a poor country. Scotland is a rich country that can have their own government and can produce a strong military force. And this is one reason why Scotland wanted to break apart from the United Kingdom. It is because they have the strength, they have the power, they have the money, they have the military force to be a strong independent country. And since Scotland is a very strong country and powerful country, they could be compared to the other countries that are within NATO. And this is another reason why Scotland should be a part of NATO. And this idea leads me on to my third reason. Scotland is a rich country that can produce a strong army. Therefore, they can also contribute a very strong army to NATO. And wouldn't NATO want that? Wouldn't they want to become stronger than before with additional help from Scotland? When Scotland contributes their army to the United Kingdom, news of this will spread all over the world, and people will fear NATO even more because now they know that NATO has a stronger military partner, and they would not dare to invade. They would not dare to deal with NATO or fight with NATO, because then they would know they will suffer more casualties. They will not dare to try to invade one of the members of NATO, because then they will have to deal with all the other forces that have joined in with NATO. And another benefit of Scotland joining with NATO is that NATO will be able to take stronger military actions and be able to put pressure on their enemy even more, because now they have a stronger and better army that will allow them to better take out their strategy on their enemies. So in conclusion, I believe that an independent Scotland should be a member of NATO because of three reasons. The first reason is that Scotland would be a European country. Second reason is that Scotland also has a strong military force and economy as well as the other countries. And third, that Scotland will be able to increase the military power of NATO. And wouldn't NATO want to become stronger? Thank you so much.
Thank you. I would like to invite our judges to ask questions.
Good morning, Vanthol. When are the elections in Scotland?
Election in Scotland? I don't really remember, but it was a few months ago, and they voted Scotland to still be a part of the United Kingdom. Yeah.
You mentioned dare to invade NATO countries. Whether Scotland is an added addition or not, don't you
because they are afraid to invade NATO. Yes, thank you for your question. They are afraid to invade NATO countries because the NATO countries are already very strong because they consist of the US and Canada. But then if Scotland joins, they will even be more stronger than before.
NATO has been active twice. Once during the Cold War, well, 3 times. Once during the Cold War, one after 9/11 in Afghanistan, and more recently in Libya. Given that these actions are things that are largely driven by the U.S., interests of the U.S., why should Scotland care about the military initiatives of NATO?
Because NATO, they agree that they would help each other when they would help each other militarily if they are needed. So then Scotland would also get protection from NATO, and that's really great for their country when they are invaded by other countries. Thank you.
Why would Scotland be being invaded by other countries? Shouldn't an independent Scotland care more on economic development?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Why would an independent Scotland care for being invaded by other countries rather than focus on economic development?
Thank you for your question. I think they should focus on improving their economy. Then there are also times that a war suddenly explodes up. So then so if they already join NATO, then NATO can protect them. You have to have a good economy, but also have protection to protect that strong economy. Thank you.